Welcome to Cognitive Rampage Podcast. I hope you're taking care of you. Hope you're living your cognitive rampage as the ZZ Top LaGrange fades out in our ears. I'm pretty sure they can't hear it, but we are live. So if you click that link that's attached there, you'll join with us. You'll hang live. Me,
Patricia.
hanging out live. But yeah, he said, she said,
Yeah.
a new format. We're going now. But what's funny is I'm sitting here going, what button do you hit to end this? What's up, Allie? My boy.
You were trying to school it.
Allie says hello.
Heyo.
See, I agree. Angie says it's timeless. Maybe we do it like this. Maybe we live on Facebook here.
Oh, yeah. Now
As
chime in.
right as we record here.
Yeah.
You may be able to click on this link live because we also are streaming live with the link I put up there on YouTube too.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can click both.
That'd be cool to kind of get their little input or reaction to whatever we decide to.
Yeah, but ZZ Top is class. Every time now, that song takes me back to us driving across the country the first time together and entering Dallas, Texas, somewhere through there.
I honestly lost track. I was the storm chaser. I felt that we were the storm chasers. Yes, it was quite the challenge, I think.
Oh, it was. But after you get through the Dallas like traffic, right? It was just. I mean,
Yeah.
I was trying to drive fast, but traffic was killing it.
It was hard for me not to be the photographer, watching you and you're looking out the window, rocking out with that beard that you used to have of
Hey.
the reckless boy.
Yeah, the beard. I took the beard down, right? See, I like to do the opposite. It's no shave November, but fuck that. I'll finally shave. It's November.
Yeah, right.
I'll trade it because the other 11 months out of the year, I'm fully bearded.
I think we call it no snarl November. Yeah, I know. That's such a horrible word, isn't it?
Yeah.
Snarls.
Snarls. Ew, snarls. Do you use that word? I don't. Allie. That's my boy. Wish you were here. Allie, I better see you at the New Year's party here, man. It's going to be epic. Noah, what's up? Holy shit. Throwback. Noah was the guy I was telling you about for, does the Wind Down Wednesdays.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't
We
make
got to make
Dragon.
one of those.
Yeah, for sure. Noah's been doing that
Oh,
shit
a
for a minute.
dragonfly. Dragonfly. That's an interesting word that we discussed.
We got high as shit one night and simply discussed what we would call, I think it was a show you were going to do, right?
You can't give everything away. No, we were discussing dragonfly and how unique the actual dragonfly is. That there is no when you think about a dragonfly, you're not going, yeah, that's scary or that's sweet or that's masculine or feminine. What up? It's like whatever you decide to make it. So you don't think of anything that goes with it other than it's a dragonfly and it's freaking cool.
When you pointed it out the first time, it's something I'd never taken notice of, right?
Yeah.
But when you were like, what gender do you think of when you think of a dragonfly?
Yeah, you don't really.
I was like,
associate
I don't know what bathroom it uses.
yeah, right. Hey, is that ironic that it's dragon?
What? No, I can't put that together.
Right? You can't put it together. Nothing.
But you don't, right? I'd never think of like, oh, look at that little male / whatever dragonfly.
Even in like cartoons and stuff like that, it's never really gender specific or anything. It's never anything. It's not like, oh, here comes the beautiful dragonfly, the graceful dragonfly, or anything. It's just a freaking cool thing.
Yeah, and now if you're like me and you grew up in Florida, you know that the dragonfly eats mosquitoes. So it's not going to bite you if you're not from here or you see dragonflies and you go, oh, shit. It's actually a good thing. It's out there tearing up mosquitoes. It's having a fucking feast. Either that or you're getting bit, right? Because there's mosquitoes everywhere.
Yeah.
But the dragon, I haven't. And knowing that as a kid, growing up as a Floridian, I was like, dragonfly, all right, it's eating shit. It's good. It's trying to not have me bit, but also knew that's when it was time to go.
I never even had any of those associations. Like, you see the ladybug or even a hummingbird is a bit in the same category as a dragonfly. It's not always
Dude, that
feminine looking.
The hummingbird in Arizona that whiz by your head every morning. We're out there like chilling.
I know. It's like,
And I'm like, are you fucking Snow White? I'm like, this thing's next to you. Like,
I think I'm more like Mocha Brown.
did you?
Definitely not Snow White.
But no, you're hanging out. The birds are chilling. Like, hello, Patricia.
Oh, yeah. It was like,
That's creepy, but weird.
yeah.
Disney movies creep me out.
Why? Oh, you know what? Isn't it funny how many different things came out about the Disney movies? Like the cover of certain movies. I think it was Aladdin, where they had the.
Aladdin was a good movie. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
Hey.
Good movie. Remember, be yourself.
Yeah.
Robin Williams was the
I was
shit.
just say that you're biased because of that. I think.
Fuck, is it Robin?
Yeah.
I say it on a first name basis, like I
I
fucking
know.
knew it.
Robin, the guy that came over.
Yeah, Robin.
Of course, back in the day, since he's no longer with us.
He was the shit.
He was. He's almost all of his movies. He's so passionate. Remember when he was in the Cowboys cheerleader outfit in Mork and Mindy? You know, when you weren't born yet.
Dude, he stretched it. Mork and Mindy was such a stretch of that time, man. You know, for what was on TV, then all of a sudden there's this guy doing
Gallivanting.
yeah.
Remember his walk like this? He'd be like shaking his shoulders
Yeah.
with his tiny, tiny little balls of hair on his chest where you'd go,
No.
what is that?
I wasn't paying attention.
You
I mean, it
can't
was
miss-
furry.
come on.
He added to
No, it's not furry. It was literally like Brillo. What are those little stickers that you get on your feet or whatever running, and there's just a bunch
Stickers.
of...
That's what we always call them.
no,
What the
there's-
fuck? It's a
There's
sticker.
a specific name.
I'm sure there fucking is, but there was just a sticker to us, the shit that stuck to you. That's
Your
all.
attitude is developing quite soon. I'm
No, because I want you to finish your story.
No, that's okay. That was it. That his freaking hairs looked like hairs, all of them. They looked like just little stickers.
Yeah.
Not wanting to touch them.
You know, it's always it seems the young ones die, right? The good die young that are,
It's like the
Kurt Cobain-
26.
Yeah, well, you go through it, right? The Robin Williams on down, right? The artists that die young. And it seems, it makes you question your own fucking life. You're like, I'm still alive. I haven't done shit. My artistic ability of creativeness
That would make me not want to do anything if I'm going to freaking die right afterwards. I'd be
Right?
like, yes, I have not reached that point yet. I still have a ways to go before I die.
before it's so creative where you feel like, I don't know.
That's why I haven't peaked. I'm prolonging it. I could be so much better, but then I'd die. So,
It's we were talking right about music and leads, right? So we were talking about guitar players, leads, anything. So
Yeah.
I told you as a kid we would name out your all-star band, right? If you could say like my lead person was, my lead guitarist was, my bassist was, my
you were
my drummer
fantasy
was.
band playing instead of fantasy football, where you're picking all your.
Yeah, but
players.
it was one of those little conversations that for a moment my family felt like a family.
Yeah.
We're all in the
Right.
kitchen eating cheeseburger casserole finally, forcing the family night Wednesday night. No one's
Yeah.
yelling, right? And you're finally like, so if you could have an all-star band, right? And
What would you do?
right, who would be your lead? And we named 4 or 5,
Yeah.
greatest leads of all time. And then realized that every lead that we named was from like one era.
Right.
Like where's the lead? That fucking the person out for that's pulling the full thing, the charisma, you know what I mean?
I think those were the organic musicians. The ones that weren't like fixing it on the computers to make them sound better. Things they worked for it. And so there's more passion in it.
Yeah, but that's my point is they all died young. So everyone I named, I'm like, holy shit. No matter who you put up, Freddie Mercury, right? I mean, is Robert Plant still alive? I think Robert Plant is actually still alive.
You're the king of that. You could name 10 things and I'd be going, I've heard that song, but I have no idea who sang it.
Right, but so who did we name? We named,
Janis Joplin.
yeah, Janis Joplin, Jimmy, who's a lead guitarist, but also
Yeah.
vocals, Jim Morrison, Freddie Mercury, we already said, Steven Tyler.
No, you said Steven somebody else, the one that I asked you to play for me.
Oh, Stevie Ray Vaughan. That's
Yeah,
when
yeah,
we
yeah.
were picking our lead guitarist.
Oh, okay.
So it was like, who's your lead guitarist? But the lead person, everybody we named
Yeah.
was like from a fucking one little era, it seemed like.
Yes, and almost same genre as well. There was a couple
True.
tiny. We did say Santana, which is not in the
Well,
same
that's
one.
lead guitarist again.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as genre goes, the
Yeah.
difference. Everybody else is more like the rock, whereas Santana has like a good spicy mix.
Well, it came from all the Led Zeppelin shit, right? How when I was telling you how Led Zeppelin had actually plagiarized like the top 10 fucking songs.
I literally, I didn't hear that before, and I was like, well, thanks, you fucking ruined all like my people. Thanks for that. I had no idea. Like, I don't even want to research it. I don't want to know that. I can't unknow it now. You know?
No, you can't. Well, it's a world and description that I'm sure as comedians talk about. As imagine if you woke up and one day that your favorite athlete, Bruce Jenner, is now a female, Bill Cosby's a fucking rapist, Donald Trump is the president, and Led Zeppelin plagiarized their top 10 fucking songs that ever made it. You would be like, what the fuck happened?
And Ted Danson and Whoopi Goldberg were doing it. You go,
seriously,
what the fuck? No eyebrows and all, huh?
Yeah. What the fuck? You seriously be like, what? Nothing is real anymore.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? It tripped me. Now, it's just too much. It's another dimension you see me warp into. But my whole point, circling back, was everyone we named died young. It was pretty much are gonna. Right? Yeah. We got to lead guitarist, which, I don't know, who would your leads be? If you could pick a lead.
That was really difficult to spit out.
So
who would your leads be?
Slow it down.
Remember the other day when
yes, he is still alive. Yeah, Robert Plant is still alive. So thank you, Jennifer. Allie, he's still laughing. Sophia was laughing about your tiny balls of hair on Robin.
Oh yeah, right. That's true. I promise you. People are gonna be googling that and going, ew.
Oh no, but he was my point. Oh yeah, circling back. That everybody that actually fucking made a mark dies young.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm still alive. I haven't done a fucking thing with myself.
That's why you're still alive, babe.
Yeah. I'm waiting, right? I haven't done anything yet because.
True story. The truth to tell.
I haven't done anything because I don't want to wind up in a plane crash or something tragic.
Yeah, it's like those people that go, I don't want to win the lottery because I don't want to pay the taxes. I see.
Fuck you.
Or when they get a divorce and they're like, I don't want to get a job because then I'd have to pay child support or I'd have to give her some, so I'm going to be poor with her.
Like, yeah, what the fuck's?
You hear that a lot, unfortunately, where you really go,
you do.
What? You don't want to raise because you might have to share it with your kids? Sucks for you. You know? You see that a lot.
Yeah, well,
that went dark quick, huh?
Yeah.
Let's go back to the fun positive.
So your lead guitarist,
Yeah.
all right? You can pick whatever all-star lead that you have. We were Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Freddie Mercury, we already named, right? Robert Plant was the lead that we talked about. Who else? Steven Tyler was the lead.
Yeah, but he was very iffy. Remember, we were kind of like, he has 2 or 3 songs and that were spectacular.
Jimmy would be hard not to. I mean, come on, Jimi Hendrix. I mean, Janis.
Those two, I would pick those two. They seem so like it's just who they are. There's
no
like performance.
Basketball dream team of the, like 80 something. We're like, who do you take? I don't know, man. You got Jordan or Bird.
I wonder how tall each of them are.
What? Well,
I was trying to imagine them walking next together like a band, like almost like a cartoon. That's where my brain went. I'm just sharing it. Jesus. So I'm wondering like how tall they are because I imagine Jimi Hendrix walking like that wolf that would be like, dude.
I know.
Like just chill.
I know Richie Havens was tall.
Richie Havens.
Yeah. I like Richie. Richie was not well known to some, but I'd love fucking Richie Havens, man.
You would, would you?
He fucking awesome. He opened up. He opened up Woodstock, man. He came out and opened up. He's one of the first artists there that wasn't too fucked up, but he opened it up, man. I mean, Richie Havens killed it, man. He wrote some shit.
You're far better. I mean, that's one of the things that you were the DJ. I like to just go.
Oh,
yes,
John Lennon.
Sure.
John Lennon as a front. Remember, I never mentioned the Beatles. I was like, fuck, I named everybody. I didn't mention, I'm not a Beatle fan.
Yeah, but isn't John Lennon a 2-seater?
What the fuck is that?
His wife comes with him.
Oh, man. She would ruin the band.
Yeah, but she did open that. Open is like open, just different. It's like really.
Open is what you say when
still
Captain
to this
is
day pays for and takes care of that park that's just outside her window for him.
Yeah, Lennon. So then you have lead guitarists to choose from, and it started. We were watching videos last night of Stevie Ray Vaughan, and I played.
Oh yeah, he was
Voodoo Child by Stevie Ray Vaughan, and I was like, damn, okay, the boy can play. And then Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix, and if you play them both,
yeah, no, Jimi Hendrix, you go, what the?
You're like, Hendrix wins. Yeah, for sure. But cleanly, I mean, shit. Stevie Ray Vaughan played it so clean. It was just.
It was natural and looked good. And
But I think Hendrix like skips are on purpose. Like he means to sort of mess up to give it that freestyle ab. You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
know. You know, the first two that you're talking about, I kind of imagine myself, like maybe seeing him sitting on a patio where you chill and have a good time. Jimi Hendrix, I go like this. He's in a dark room on a freaking stage. I don't care if anybody else is around, and
On
you just want
LSD.
to watch him. Yeah, but you still enjoyed watching him, right?
Yeah, and just play that shit. It was
Where
different.
you could actually feel the music and not just hear it.
Yeah, it was different from when we played it to when you watched the video of Stevie Ray. Just
Yeah, and seeing his fingers. Yeah.
yeah, just fucking. You're like, wait, that's fast forwarded. That's bullshit. He's not fucking moving his hands that
Yeah,
fast.
it was definitely like you don't even expect it to be that much movement, even from the sound of it. He definitely looked cool up there with
Yeah,
his
so
leopard jacket.
Yeah, Hendrix, but it was Eric Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Who else did we name? I'm missing somebody. Somebody. Hello.
I don't. Yeah,
Stevie Ray. Eric. I'm miss. Oh. No, I named him Eric Clapton.
I think. Yeah. Well, all of those were kind of yours.
Slash. from
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses.
He's good because he still looks the exact same and plays the same. Like nothing's
No one
changed, it
knows
seems
because he
like.
wears the hat so fucking low in the air. You don't really.
Wouldn't it be funny if he just that's actually like a wig and he just takes it off like a hat, puts it there like those new hats that come with the hair.
It's not even fucking him.
Right. But that's the cool thing is if he actually did pull that hair back, I bet you people wouldn't recognize him.
No. Yeah, some wouldn't.
No.
Who the fuck? Shit. You know what? Ozzy crossed my mind too as a fucking front guy.
He is good.
Fucking Ozzy. I mean, the different voices that
The
change.
noticeable sound too.
Oh hell yeah, man! Shit, Black Sabbath when he's with them
Yeah.
and that fucking hit that scream was ridiculous, man.
He is pretty cool.
Hi Tracy, hi Amy, Karen, Tim. What's up, Tim?
He said, hi, Tracy.
Per se, the Illuminati's per se. Well, now when you get to drummer is where I'm like, yeah, we'll have a guy from Metallica and I don't know. My list of drummers, terrible. I'm shitty. I know I'm terrible. Some people are really into music, like you don't know fucking drummers. You're an asshole.
Yeah, I don't either.
I can feel my boy Greg Sims. He'd be like, "You're a dick. You don't know any
I bet
fucking drummer."
You know, there's about freaking 50 people going, what about it? And all kinds of spitting out there going,
Yeah.
these people are idiots. They don't listen to music.
Yeah, don't you know Tommy Lee, man? Come on, he's the best drummer ever.
Yeah, no, thanks.
You know, all I know for 10 years, if I ever happened to come across the drummer conversation, all I knew is my best friend Greg Sims at the time when I was a kid, who was
Great.
Mr. Drummer Man.
Yeah.
He said that the Primus drummer was one of the best ever. So I forgot his name now. But in the conversation for 10 years, the only reason that I could chime in, I was like, the guy from Primus was the shit. And they'd be like, hell yeah, he was awesome. And I'm like, all right, I'm out.
Remember that song? No.
No.
Yeah. No.
Like, I'm out. Just Greg said it was really awesome. And so he
it
must
sucks.
be.
It's funny too when you know that you like bring up something that someone's acting like they're so like knowledgeable and and you're like, oh yeah, like what's your favorite? Like that one dude the other day we were watching Rogan, we're like, and he's talking about how he's starting to read books now, and we're like, yeah, what books?
What are you reading?
Tell us about it.
Something.
Yeah. He's like the back seat of the airplane seat.
Yeah.
That's what he's resorted to by now.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. So all of this was talking about who's the lead person today. Who's the Hendrix of today, right? Who's the one that's, tampering with it, so much and that pushes a line, And here's a comparison is I remember an old girlfriend at like 21, Carissa, right? Her dad
I thought we went over that.
she funny.
There's no fucking names.
No, but anyway, no, she was
just
cool.
kidding.
But her dad, right? This was like this. I'd never seen a family like that. He had his own chiropractic place, right? I was like, okay, normal like family people. Okay, I'm terrible here.
Yeah.
That was actually no, that was not the mom that tried to bribe me. There were two moms that tried to bribe me to break up with their daughter. It wasn't them. But anyway, so he's a huge Beatles fan. Him and his wife. And he's playing the Beatles, loud one night, just hanging out. And I'm like, okay, yeah, the Beatles, woo. There's the one or two, right, that
Yeah.
everybody knows. Of course, I was that person. Now, look, if a lot of Beatles fans are like deadheads, right? You mentioned the Grateful Dead. And like, you don't even know, man. Like the guy we met on the train.
Oh, yeah, he was major.
Yeah, the guy for like 48,000 years has been traveling, seeing the dead. And who was I talking about?
You're talking about the music and who you would choose and who is today, nowadays, the big pop star. Like Lady Gaga would be my female choice of somebody that would be coveted to be seen nowadays. But there's not, I don't feel like that about many musicians nowadays.
Yeah, I went so left field. I got all the way down to a band and an old girlfriend that liked something.
Yeah, you actually started on 2 of those stories.
Yeah, if we could make the connection, it would make a point. If we could make the connection, it'd make a point.
Musicians nowadays is what I was guessing that you were trying to go on.
I can't remember anymore. It doesn't matter.
That's okay. We just did a nice little square circle.
It's
Did you get that, what I did there?
Yeah, I see what you did there. No, there was a good point to it. It was about musicians and music today and writing and God knows what. There was a connection.
One of your previous mistakes, I like to call them that. Your previous mistakes, fathers, what they were in or something like that.
Oh, yeah, the Beatles. Yeah. And, all right, so dude's blaring it. And I can tell, like, Dr. Chiropractor guy he's into the shit. Yeah. Like, I'm into, like, Haystack or whatever when I'm playing something, right? And he's just vibing, right? And I'm like, I don't get this shit. I'm like, what is the fucking big deal? So he breaks it down for me. And he goes, listen, man. Everybody at the time was listening to the band, right? If you imagine like the 4-piece band, if you will. And so all of a sudden comes along people that put symphonies in the studio and recorded 6 different instruments at the same time, right? And then took that and orchestrated and mixed a sound, right? And put that together. So I started going, oh, okay, so you guys are on a lot of fucking drugs. You don't hear, but the 4-piece, 6-piece type band thing. And then all of a sudden, this orchestra is playing on a chorus and a mixed, and you're just fucking rolling out of your fucking mind. And and then I'm like, oh, yeah, choo choo. I get you. Okay, choo choo the walrus. I got you. So then I could put it together. But then at the time, I was DJing heavy, like house music. So I kind of like, yeah, that's the same thing. I was selling. I was like, see all these sounds nobody's ever heard. So
I don't ever see you ever talking like that, even when you were.
I totally wasn't.
Yeah. We'll go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I totally wasn't talking.
I don't know what just happened, but
but it sounds that way when you're talking about it. Like I should be talking that way.
Isn't it funny when you are telling a story and if you like you and I, if somebody starts doing a voice where you go, whoa, everybody hold on a second. Let me just go ahead and take him aside for a second. What the fuck are you doing? You were just now in this accent clearly and you fucking sideswiped and now we're in a different one. Get it together. I'm doing that to you now.
It's true. But I'm like selling it going, no, but once you're, basically I'm saying when you're on the drugs and the music and it changes and you're playing the house or whatever music it is and you're like, you feel that. Mm-hmm. That's the closest to going, I get why the Beatles are big I've ever fucking been.
Oh, right.
That was the whole point.
Okay.
I circled that shit back.
Yeah, they had some really good ones though. I mean, they had some pretty...
Sure.
I think that they had a
see how my voice went up. That's how you know a motherfucker's lying.
Sure.
Little tip out there: if somebody's ever lying, right, their answer to you in some way will make their voice peak upwards. So it would be something like, did you ever do that? No.
I don't know. I kind of disagree on that one. Just like when you play the flute and it goes like this. At the very end, it might be just like that little pizzazz or like shaking your ass before you walk out the room, right? That's your...
No, somebody's lying. That's it. You watch that. Did you do that? No, I ain't do shit.
No, I wasn't there with them at that time.
That's
Never.
Your voice stayed low. It's cool. I believe you. I mean, you're a villain, but still, you're able to carry that.
Villain, right?
No, but
don't bring it up.
If the voice peaks, if you get that, what? Yeah. I didn't, or they repeat it back to you. Did I do what?
The repeating back and the questioning is where you go, dude, really? You're buying yourself that much freaking time?
And the dead giveaway everyone knows is, what happened was. What happened was. See, I was supposed to, and then I fell asleep and my phone was off.
See, mine would be, well, Julie called me and she was having a bad night. I feel so bad. Finally, I did what you were advising and reconnected. This took about 7 hours. I have no idea what was taking her so long to explain.
Man, that's a deep one. That's way off script.
Yeah, you're like, whoa.
You're way off script.
Record scratch on that one.
You're at the table adding to the script to write.
Well, that's because every time something does happen, this is good stuff. I'm going to write this stuff down. next time I get caught, I'm going to say this and he's going to say nothing.
No.
No, I'm sure you played every card.
Hey.
Yeah.
No.
I said that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Right? I'm waiting for your voice to change to where you go, what?
What? No.
What? No. See, what you do is you try to cause a diversion where you notice yourself going, what? And then you bring it right back down. No. What? No.
What? Yeah, you picked up on that. I say that.
Yeah.
What? No.
I like that. It's so cute.
It's
What?
a giveaway that I'm telling the truth.
It's actually even
No.
like the first thing you say before you decide, am I going to fight about this? Am I going to pick this battle? What?
What?
No. Yesterday
No.
I did.
Let it pass through me.
Yeah. I liked that.
What happened? See, yeah, Tim caught on it. What happened was, what's up, Heath? You got to fucking meet Heath soon.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite candy bars.
That is. It's up there.
It really
It's so
is.
fucking underrated.
Yeah.
You never see the Heath bar in the commercial or product
The only
place.
reason it's still alive is Dairy Queen.
It's and the ice cream. Oh, that's killer.
The Heath Blizzard.
The Heath is fucking underrated.
It is. It's that not so expensive toffee. Right? Everybody has to pay that other stuff, but the Heath, I liked it. Now they even like separate the two in 2 sections so you don't have to eat the whole bar. I know way too much about that.
Yeah. You
And
went,
then the packaging, you can rip it off in 2 seconds instead of 4.
that's too deep about the Heath bar. My point is, it's underrated.
Right. I'm already going, during the stoplight, you can manage to eat it before the green light. That's all just jokes.
Yeah. Is this Hangouts on air? I think it is, Tim. Well,
Is that what
actually,
you're using?
No.
Yeah.
We went through the OBS system, live this time, and broadcasted that way. So we're using OBS so we can switch cameras. So if you're watching live on Facebook, you know what's odd is I'm holding the camera to be live on Facebook when you're actually live on here. So anybody watching this shit's watching me like fucking talk to my phone. Like.
Pretty soon, just a second ago, you said, talk to my nipple. It just dropped on your
Well, I
shirt.
dropped the phone and now it's audio only. So
Oh, no.
yeah, I'm gonna close this down and come back live.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back. Don't you love that Nabisco sign?
Is that what?
Ding! Oh, no, that's a spearmint gum. You know,
Oh yeah, Nabisco is more fun.
I know, but you know where she goes, you lint liquor? You know, the spearmint gum where she's like, give me another piece of gum, you lint liquor. You have to Google that.
I'm
Somebody
leaving you out
please.
there on your own on this one.
No, it's actually quite funny.
No, you're out there. You're floating on your own.
Well, next time I call you that, don't be pissed. You lint liquor.
That's a terrible thing.
That
Like
could
that
be
would
a
dry out.
compliment.
No, it would dry out the mouth. It's terrible. No, I can walk through that.
Okay.
It's terrible. No need to test that. No
That's fine.
biohacking for that.
There'll be no he said, she said. That's he said, and that's it.
What did she say about love?
Oh, God, don't start me out on that.
Yeah.
What about it? Really, what about it? I know you and I have a whole whirlwind of different views, I think. I mean, similar ones, sharing great ones, all that good
Sure.
stuff. But
Sure. Well, did I high pitch? I high pitched. Now that everyone listening, and yourself
Yeah.
included, knows to listen for you'll know when a motherfucker's lying.
you know what's funny? It's so weird. Just now, I felt like we just started a chess game, and I'm going, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I thought we were playing Connect 4, and you just fucking pulled out a chess.
You will lose.
I must break you.
That was good. I love your impressions. Always look. I do decent ones, right? Now my dad.
Ooh,
they're
this is
fun
what you
to
did
watch
with your
him
face
try
just
them.
now. You're like, look, you think I got
This is
this
serious.
one? This is good stuff.
Like this is serious. This is serious. Pay attention.
You thought I was messing around then? Check me out now.
You're out of your mind.
People are like, that's kind of gross. Isn't it great? Did I just do that?
Yeah.
No, darn.
You did.
Isn't it funny when you say a joke or something and you really just wish you could just fucking delete? That's when I wish I had one of those
Delete
Men
it.
in Black things where you go, you did not see me.
What if you fucked up though? You went too far. Even if you went 10 minutes too far, the person could trip.
I don't even care. I just replay that other one and act like it was
Zap
my
that
first
shit.
time.
You just be zapping that shit.
I'll be like erasing the rest of my fucking life. I'm like, wait, that's when it was conceived. Fuck.
No.
I went way back.
Yeah, you went too far back.
I held that delete button.
Ooh, I fell asleep on that shit. Elbow down.
Like the freaking Apple TV remote. I could
Fuck
choke
that.
it.
Fuck the Apple TV.
Who
remote.
made it silver and little, first of all?
Silver.
I'm digging through all kinds of wrong cracks looking for that thing. Where you're like, I just had it. Fuck.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Like this, the hand that slides over to the right. Like I'm a fan of Apple TV, but sliding it and trying to tap or put, you're like, I don't know what's happening.
Don't get me on a freaking nervous day. I'll be watching all kinds of shit I shouldn't watch.
You're shaking.
I'm like, yeah, that's a good show.
For those that don't know, sometimes her right hand will shake, and then holding the Apple TV remote makes watching TV impossible.
No.
That's called context.
No, it is not. That's not. My right hand doesn't shake. You just painted this horrible picture. For those of you that don't know, she removes her hand, and then the next day, what she does is,
Hey, I'd still love you. There's nothing wrong with that.
it'll be like that old movie where they took off their limbs and
how
shit.
far does it go, right? When you're like, you lose a hand, I'm still with you. I'll stay with you. You lose an arm. Are you questioning it? A
No.
leg?
Shut up. No.
How far?
Oh my gosh.
No? No.
There's
There's lines. What if you're only dating for like 6 months?
Then of course that's ridiculous.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
what's the line? Let's say you're in it 3 months. They come down.
The line is how much you value your own life. There you go.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, I can't do that anymore. No, of course if you've developed those feelings, I mean,
That's a hard place to be in.
I don't think there's a time frame on those kind of things. Like if you meet someone, you fall in love right away, I wouldn't necessarily want to leave. I might just, by the time that it really, really ultimately mattered, by the time there'll be mice connected to your armpit and it grows you an arm.
That's fucked up, right?
Right? I mean, they've got an ear going. I just have hopes that maybe all those mice that lived around me and helped me sing and sew as I was Cinderella.
Well, it does make me think, right? Where is the line to where, you're dating 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days, 3 years, the line of, it leads to the sacrifice line, right? Of what you put in, how much do you love them? I can already hear the questions, right? I know I'm posing a question that, I'll get an email. But
What? No, emails.
outside of that, but the line of, the personal so-called sacrifice, right, for the greater good of the relationship or the person, right? Where does that even fall in your court of the idea of, I mean, do you sacrifice being that person's, hand and foot for the next 25 years because you made the promise,
I think that if I fell in love with somebody and something tragic or whatever happened, obviously there's a time frame where you stay with them where you don't want to add to their pain. But let's say over the years go by and you do feel like you're kind of living a slow death, I think you just recategorize them and someone that you love, not someone that you're in a relationship with that way anymore.
Well, that really points to the idea of maybe like love being a real selfish thing, right? Is that if we're trying to share love with someone, and if we have that, and someone falls sick, right? Couldn't we just say, or amputee, like I said, right? Or tragic, who knows? I mean, what's that line? Amputee, you're an asshole if you leave. Brain damage, vegetable for life. We understand.
Excuse me. The brain damage and stuff like that, I think that's just dependent on when you're ready. There's no time frame as far as what's necessarily right and wrong, but you have to think about everything that comes with it. Like, I'd be pretty pissed if my mom was in a relationship and 6 months after he, was in the hospital, not necessarily even pulled the plug yet or something, that she's already going, I'm going to go to dinner with so-and-so, but we'll swing by and bring you some soup. No.
Yeah.
There's just a line.
Yeah, it's hard, right? Like, I mean, there's some people that are there that are in the relationship that are the caretaker to the person they're with. What brought light to it a lot for me is My Window Out, this whole website thing I was doing. And Dr. Jan Burt, one of my first mentors, he was in chronic pain his whole life, talked about the caretakers, on how there are a lot of people that are forgotten, because the people that are being caretaken are going through it or dealing with something serious. So a lot of focus comes there. But the caretakers is part of that website thing we're building.
Yeah.
Somebody that has to really be there, or is the only one that is there. The caretaker to the person, not the hired hand, but maybe the husband, a lot of times the boyfriend, the girlfriend, wife, etc. You get hit with that. And
think if you really take yourself out of that situation where you were saying boyfriend, girlfriend. And I use that example because it's not as necessarily serious as wife or whatever, husband, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily, but it's still a possibility. As a parent, when do you go, you have a life. Stop wasting your life and giving it all to this person that's ultimately your dad. You know what I mean? Like, what if they were the people on the outside looking in going, when do you start advising even? When is it okay? And stuff like that. I mean, I couldn't leave somebody that I loved and that was happening to them. I would not do that to them.
It's hard. That's your point. You know, that's kind of the point I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Is whatever line you're in, even. You know, maybe the relationship's not even there. You know, but they're dependent on you in a certain way, or maybe they came down with it. Right? You really, it's hard to measure.
Well,
you know,
I think that's why I would say you just rearrange that type of relationship that you have. You don't need to eliminate them. You just rework it.
Yeah. Well, that kind of points to what we were talking about, the idea of what love was and what it meant. It's cliches, right? The idea of sacrifice, right? So I can hear somebody, well, they said, till death do you part. You know what I mean? That's what you do.
Yeah.
Right? And I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm you know, I see it, of that being there for somebody who made the commitment, you know.
There's a sadness to that to me. Like,
To what?
till death do its part. To me, it's like,
Well, hold on. Now, there's a short chain shit there, too. What if it's like, hey, look, I'm good with you for life. We don't know what happens after. What if it is afterlife? But look, it's like saying, I love you enough to be here. But when we die, in case there's the other side, you'll be buried next to me. But we didn't agree. So afterlife, we can't.
Agree.
Yeah, we can't live in the same zip code and shit. Like, don't date my friends.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But afterward, death do us part is kind of like, here we good. Afterwards,
Here's the thing, though. I don't want to be in any relationship where I have to agree.
yeah.
Fuck that. A negotiation. Like, sometimes when I hear about relationships where
Well, you need to prove your love to me by making the commitment.
I've never been in a relationship where they talk like that, but that's where I'd go, yeah, that's proof that I don't want one. No, but that totally threw me off. I totally lost track. Now you flipped me out of I don't even know why I was going with that.
No one knows where they're going. We were talking about the idea of sacrifice, right? That it's such a subjective, open idea, right? The idea of love itself, what that means to so many people. And a lot of times the common tone that you hear, the common, I don't know, the fucking theme, whatever it is, right? The fucking, I can smell, it's a hints of sacrifice and self-hatred. You know, so it seems to be that that's the main ingredient, is what I mean, is that sacrifice itself is like, well, I love somebody, so thus I sacrifice self, right? The moment is giving to someone.
Do you think maybe whoever decided to come up with those words of sacrifice and compare them in a negative context to love just hasn't been in it? Not the right one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we say what it is. It for the moment is a mind frame, a perception we create of the person, the moment, you know, a collection of feelings, of the thoughts, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's so open to definition that it seems so loosely applied to many relationships frivolously.
And to me, it's okay that it's got a loose meaning to it. It is what you make it to be. I think that's probably even better that it does have that. Like when you say "love you" at the end of the show, or when I do, or if somebody's walking out the door, "love you," I don't go, "Yes, I fucking knew it."
Yeah.
Those manipulating words.
Well, yeah, because that's the argument on the intellectual side that run deeper, that love is a manipulative word. And I get it.
I don't think so.
I know. It's hard to even define. I always say, look, love is an irrational concept to begin with from some logical perspective. So to think that there's a rational approach to the idea of what love is, I would say there wouldn't be 6,000 million books on it. It'd be like 2.
Who wants rational?
Yeah, a lot. A lot of people, you know, the logical, mechanistic.
Well, I shouldn't even say that. Not who wants rational, but it's one of those things again where you go, what's your definition of rational and how are you using it?
Well, the definition of love, that's what you point out. That's that was your point, is that it's, if we choose to apply the fork to be a bad word of manipulation. There's some method of verbal martial arts that I can perform that's going to bring that word to be that, the applier of it.
Well, honestly, when it comes to that, I go, why does anybody have a rule on something that is defined by yourself? Don't tell me your rules on what love is or what should be or what. Who freaking cares? I wouldn't love like you, because if I would, I probably would be in love with you. So somebody's definition or idea of it doesn't really matter to me, but I enjoy seeing different definitions of it, as opposed to different definitions or reasons why somebody doesn't want to be in love.
Yeah, love itself is so abused, misused, but only even that, the description of love itself as being abusive or abused, is still enforcing my belief of this irrational notion of subjectivity, on somebody, of what that is, of that, what that experience means, of what it is to take it on, to experience it, to have it, to ingest it in some way.
I go, who cares? If I feel like I have the possibility of tasting what love tastes like or feels like or anything like that, I'm going to jump, taste it, and if it frickin' sucks, I'll spit it out and go back to where I was. You know what I mean? Where you just go, what do you have to lose? And even if it was a short film that was really exciting, who doesn't want to watch that? Who doesn't want to be wild? Yeah. All right. You have to have insurance, right?
We're dropping too many inside jokes in a row.
Yeah, we got to stop that. It's funny because when you just don't recognize things until someone else is, oh, look, hey, Caitlin's on there. What's she saying? Caitlin is my best friend. She lives in Chicago. Baby, turn around so you can see what she's saying.
Oh, Caitlin?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Caitlin. Hi, Adam. How are you? Good to talk to you. You were saying love.
Yeah, right. Sorry. Hey, I got to say that. I haven't seen her on this in forever. I don't even remember. I think it was just...
we were talking about the idea of love as being compared to sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
And you and I do a lot of conversation walking through lines, about the rational and irrational. So if we, to throw another line combatively to that, would to say that the family is only strong as the weakest link. Right. So if one member of this 2-person family or more is in some state, right, then the link of love itself isn't the lasting idea that moves it, right? We have to pull together to have them. And then connect that with the notion of love being irrational or sacrifice or something that you put in it. It seems this line of balance, again, we come back to, of what makes it right, is a balance of still keep some of yourself but not sacrifice yourself. An agreement, if you will.
I won't. Not an agreement. I don't ever want to have anything be an agreement where it's a negotiation. I mean, obviously in relationships you have those things of deal breakers, so you don't want to go, I guess there is kind of an agreement. We agree that if this is broken, then I'm out of here. I believe in unspoken love, but I don't believe in unconditional.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, unconditional love. Yeah, what
or
about...
I should say my definition of my love for you would change.
Sure.
There are conditions there where you go, yeah, if you did that, I probably wouldn't love you anymore. and that person can be related to you.
Right.
Right? A sibling or whatever, where you throw out that window or that opportunity, whatever, of that even being a possibility. I'm a fan of unspoken love, where, and I'm not going to use the whole cliche thing where I could feel you in the other side of the room and I don't need to be next to you. Those are fun, but realistically, it's not still the definition of love. To me, unspoken love is where you literally just don't, it doesn't have to be announced, you just feel it.
Well, see,
Feels good to have that, though, announcement.
Well, that's still where I chime in, though, is to just feel it. If I have thoughts that are creating something from that person's behavior, then I'm manifesting the idea of what love is for my self-serving benefit. And when that no longer services myself, then I cut that love, and that's kind of weird, kind of going back to the disabled or something happens, right?
Yeah. What
do you do for your next 60 years of your life, of any point?
I guess that is actually comparable because it's something that's no longer working right, in your relationship. So I guess you can have that perspective of it when you think about when is it time to go, yeah, this isn't working. This is definitely feeding you and I'm starving to shit. And there's plenty of meat out there.
Yeah, and let's jump on the cliche that a lot of people talk about in relationships is that if they're not serving you or feeding you or making you grow, if everyone took that real analogy about the relationship, there's so many different approaches, but the approach of where if they don't feed you, cut the weight. They do it with friends too.
Yeah.
If your friends aren't this right, you're the average of, etc. And I'm like, I fucking love my friends.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to be, if everyone really did that and you were managing and we'd be like the NBA. No one would be on the same team each week. You'd be like, oh, you don't make the top
You're
five.
more of a number as opposed to an individual. There's no depth to it. It is like Velcro relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, that's where you link back to the love idea of where some people find that martyrdom by saying, I work 85 hours a week for my family. Thus, this defines or then proves behaviorally my love for them is the sacrifice of my free time, my life, my existence, that then equals love or what the relationship is or is supposed to be.
Yeah. But like if
I was trying to open up that can of fuck that worms.
Yeah. Well, you know how sometimes in a relationship you can almost see how they want to be praised because of how they praise the other. So like a man, you might come home and your house is fucking spotless and it just looks amazing. And that's usually
You're
what
welcome.
makes them go,
You're welcome.
So my point of that was, before you say you're welcome, is that's the way that they end up expressing their love to the other people, but that may not be the way that they are thinking that it should be perceived or how it's shown. You know how sometimes people make that. Obviously, with your situation, like the other day when you painted the whole house, I was just like, I swear you bought me some Louis Vuittons. I was like, yes. Yeah, every stroke I was like, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's my man.
That's how I put it down.
All right. I'm like, pick up that other brush.
You can hire me at 188. Call Adam to paint your shit. I'm kidding.
Yeah, just pay me. Yeah.
Damn it. You're getting pimped already.
Right? No,
Pimp
that
painting.
to me, when they express that type of love, he's all caught up on that. Well, one time I had this idea to pimp my woman out.
No, never.
Oh, I haven't.
I'm just talking about pimp painting. I'll just show up and stroke up, Karate Kid that shit up and down.
You probably get some pretty good takers.
But you were saying, I painted the whole, I did. Not manically. I didn't wake up like 4 a.m. and go, it was like 4 p.m. And so I was going to paint the whole house random.
No, it was random, but it was the color that I wanted, the things that I wanted, and for it to kind of feel more like ours. It was perfect. I loved it.
And what was you were headed somewhere.
The point of that is the different way that people express love and show love in relationships and things like that. Some people make the mistake to express something major and you go, yeah, that's the way you want to be loved, not me.
You're tap dancing on something.
All right.
Okay, well, that's just not how I show love. All right? And
I don't, who are you imitating, real quick?
I don't know.
Okay, you have to put that out there real quick, because otherwise they might
I show my
be
love through
confused.
actions, not words, okay? I show still, then it seems like more like of a demand, as if this is how I show my love, thus you take this or leave it in a way, as opposed to finding a different way to communicate that love, is to say my love is done through what I do, right? It's done through how I behave, right? How I talk, the love languages, as this famous book that has been written says, as if, okay, fine. If touch is your love language, you're going to go through your entire relationship with no words, simply touch. You're not going to make it. So to point out the fact that there's fucking a love language that you speak, that mine is, actions, mine is this. Well, you're going to manifest that to be true, one, because you're going to concrete a belief to believe that's who you are, and then start to shape it on these ideas.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I just, for me, love is just way too individual, to where I don't think there's necessarily a wrong answer.
Oh, I like that. I can't flip the camera around when it's live like that. I'm like trying to. Wait, there it is. Bam. Boom. Way much better than flipping this shit. it's so much the nutrition approach to the individual of what love is or means.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there are couples out there where the husband or wife or whatever is, all about business, gone most of the time, but then that other person, the male or female, because there are plenty of female providers and the male is the one that's waiting around or whatever, right? That are totally content with that lifestyle where they only need one solid day to themselves and that's what they need.
Date night, and then I'll pay attention to you. And
I'm gonna
after
talk to
that,
you, and
fuck
I'm going to
that.
show you where this is, and then they're done. And so it just like, remember the other day we were talking and we're like, well, maybe that works for them.
Sure.
I don't even remember what.
It's hard to judge anybody because there's no right way to do a relationship, right?
Yeah,
So it's
and
like
until you're in that situation, you don't really know how you would be in that relationship or that type.
Yeah, it's easy sometimes, right, to point out, well, I'll tell you what I would do. You call your friend and they're like, you know what you need to do, Tracy? You just need to get the fuck out of there, pack your shit. And then they're not the ones there. You know what I mean? They're not the ones sitting there, when they're telling you to leave.
I mean, this is terrible, but I say sometimes to my girlfriends if they're saying something about someone is saying this about that or whatever, I'm like, are you fucking them? Are they paying your bills? Then who cares? Are they sleeping next to you? They're not going to be the one that goes, I know, I'm so happy that you left him. Scooch over. Let me take your pillow with you. Your friend is not going to be there in that bed with you when they're influencing your decisions.
Yeah, what I hear them saying, would you go on and do what I can't do? Fucking leave that asshole because I really want to, but I'm not. I'm not gonna. But you go and leave them and find yourself.
Or in the back of their mind, they're going, who's going to go with me to fucking bingo?
Who's coming with me?
Yeah.
I'm out.
This is something where they misery loves comfort.
I feel like my mom was doing that when she was leaving. She was like, who's coming with? Not no one. I'm fucking out. Moms are just gone. I'm like, all right, go, Mom. Woohoo. I'm at the driveway, cheering her off, like, bye. Like she's going to college.
Oh, I don't think she was using that tone of voice at all.
No, not at all.
She's probably like, I'm going this way later.
Please, we're loading up
See you
that
again.
Ford Taurus remodeled 2-door. Are you taking the China?
Aw.
No, but so that idea, right, of the line in the sand of when it becomes your life or when your life thus is defined by who you sacrifice it for.
Yeah, I think that's the quickest way to resentment.
Sure.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like, who did I give all of my dessert to? All you can do is watch them eat it. The only gift out of
Just
it.
hold on. I want to stare out the rainy window after you say some shit like that. I'm like, hold on. Say it one more time as I stare out the window and it's raining. And
I would have said something far different. I would have been gazing out the window and going, I have no idea what just happened, but I gave my last brownie away. The quick moment of silence.
fuck.
I know. That's how you'd feel, right?
That's slow motion, right? When you're kind of looking out. What's up, Tony? Tony says hello all the way from Australia.
Oh, then he says, hello down there.
What's up, fucker? You
Yeah.
fucker.
Oh, yeah, right. That's what he said when you did the FaceTime with him.
Well, he got on the tribe and was like, fucking cunt fucker. And
Yeah.
somebody's talking shit
Well,
about
that
him.
laugh
Like,
came
this
out.
fucking Tony, man, leave him alone. He gets a free pass to say whatever the fuck he wants to.
Well, you know what's funny too, though? Anywhere abroad, I should say, they use that word quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, in such a different context than in the United States, I think. You know, it's very candid and more like shit.
You
know?
glorious fucker. What's up, Kelly? How are you? Oh, yeah. I miss Tony. We talked a lot. And he reached out. Remember I told you he reached out and we wanted to chat. And I'm kind of like, Tony, I'm not the guy you want to talk to right now, man. I'm looking at my chessboard right now like somebody just knocked that shit off and then all they did was give me a queen. You know what I mean?
You just saved yourself right there. I was
You
like,
see how that happened, right? You see what I did
Yeah.
there? Right? No, but I was kind of like, man, you know, this I admire his approach to life and how he sees it. And I don't know how the fuck I got in left. Oh, yeah, Tony was commenting. That's how I got in left field. I swear to not offend. Tony, you're offensive because you're so unoffensive, sir.
No, I don't get it. I don't like if I watch anything that he does, I don't get offended at all. I look at it as like a spicy character.
That's a cat that'll throw you the motherfucking life vest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a cat that I know, like, if we're getting into it, he's going to lay some cover fire for me. You know what I mean? He's going to be like, all right, we can both use this fucking piece of wood and swim to safety. Well, in some Australian accent.
Yeah.
That I'm not doing.
There it goes again.
Whatever. But, he's the guy that would do that shit for real.
Yeah, he seemed like you guys had a pretty good connection.
Yeah. And, well, I mean, I go back, right? We just... All right, I'm going to open up this fucking
what's
can.
up? Let's hear it.
You ready? Yeah,
You're
okay.
breathing different. I'm like, spit it out.
All right.
Patricia, I don't love you.
Well, we talk for hours. We talk for hours anyway. So just the fact we sit out back and just chat, it's hard. All right, we've been down this road.
Yeah.
So I watch a lot of people that have lived, I'm not going to describe it with anything, lived a life of continual work at a position of something to do what we've been talking about, to sacrifice for their greater good, for their family, right? And or themselves even, right?
Yeah.
And if no judgment about either way, because I don't give a fuck what an entrepreneur says. It's a 9 to 5, motherfucker. It's just worse because you're not fucking off. At least the 9 to 5 conversion be like, it's Saturday, motherfucker. I'm out. Call me. I'm done. Right? The entrepreneur is like, it's Saturday. We're gonna think about work all weekend. And think you're not a 9 to 5. It's the same idea. But I watch a lot of people I know that have successfully lived. You like PC.
So you're like asking for a friend.
Tippy toe, tippy toe,
Right.
tippy toe.
I know. Now it's making it be like, what did you do?
I'm not losing this. I'm holding on to it.
Okay. Proceed.
Right. Shit. What was that? No, I'm kidding. So that have lived a very successful life doing just that, right? And have provided, performed, secured. And many times have lost themselves, if you will, along the way.
Their idea of a successful life, yes.
Yeah, they've performed above par to what life has told them they're supposed to. They have given as such.
Right.
And thus should be defined. And I said should be, right, by the social construct of thus have made it. You have arrived. And yet the yearning. Hello, you're watching the microphone. Sorry. Watch. She's prettier than me. Watch her. And the yearning thus to then still do something else outside of the construct of the cubicle, right, of the paper world of email exchanges that we do for deposits.
Right.
And I watch people want to create podcasts, wanting to write books, wanting to be creative. After 15, 20, 5, 10 years of doing the other. And I kind of, now myself on the other hand, has done the opposite. I have said, I want to do that, and I go after it. Now that sounds good, but that comes at a lot of fucking costs. Tons of them. And I watch people crossing over, and I'm going like, motherfucker, you don't even know what the fuck you're getting into. Like, you wake up every day, you got your little thing, you're doing it, and you just want to put something more into it. You don't even know what the fuck you're doing. You just want to do something. And so I look at that over a long-term observation. Sorry for the long-winded.
No, you're good. You're good.
You know how I do.
Yeah.
And so the long-term life choice, I don't hate any choice because, frankly, the other one is hard as fuck. I feel like I'm trying to get back in there. I'm trying to go, whoa, fuck this, change the world shit. Let me just be over here, right? And everybody I'm trying to get to is trying to get over on the other fucking side. Go, can I just write books for a living and podcast, and then things will be great, you know? Again, the sacrifice of there's a question somewhere. And the sacrifice of that turn. And it's really hard to look at my friends, even family members that I know,
Yeah.
and people that I know are still searching for the personal satisfaction through the deed, through the implication of the proximity, judgment of the value of self, thus still in performance-based. And I see the crossover in both ways. Even those that are going, one day I'm going to get out of prison and have it straight. One day I'm going to stop selling dope and I'm going to get straight. One day after these kids are gone, I'm going to do the right. And what does someone do to kind of quiet the storm that proceeds in any fashion of their life related to performance as being the definition of the value of their existence?
Well, I think
Was that
everybody,
a fucking question? What the fuck that one?
Yeah. I think that everybody has
What's up, Andy?
something like that in their life that they define it the same way you just did, where there's a lot more depth to it than probably. That's like probably.
Probably.
Than probably necessary.
Sure.
Like it's the overthought, the I think in all those, in love, in life, in all these things that you're talking about, how come so many people put so many things, so much thought into something that doesn't have a guarantee anyway? Nothing has a guarantee.
Especially fucking love.
Right, something
And we
that
want
should
so
be,
many. We want we
pleasing.
want the guarantee. Give me the ring, give me the contract, give me the security. We want that. It's like we want a rational, logical guarantee for an irrational concept that still makes us feel alive.
See, for myself, for the first time,
I mean, I'm a
actually,
fan. I mean, shit. I do shit intravenously. You know what I mean? I'm running love
you're
on the
a
main
love,
line. You know what I mean?
I'm a fan of being in a relationship that is not in control of everything. That is basically where it is strong enough to where it doesn't rely on someone being stuck there. It's like an open door.
Yeah. Who wants to be with somebody that's like, hey, man, I made a commitment.
Well, you know when you see relationships
Hey,
where that
hey, I
one
made a
or the
commitment.
other is saying,
Most
he or
unknown.
she better marry me by this time or I'm fucking done.
Yeah,
If you're
like,
ever
what the
saying that in
fuck,
your
right?
life, why are you even considering getting married? So you can get a divorce sooner?
You put a fucking time frame, either this or else. I'm like, well, you ain't fucking in it to begin with. You
Okay,
know?
so what if that is your agenda, male or female's agenda? That's
Yeah.
what they want. That's the goal they want, is to be married. But they love somebody.
Yeah.
When is their line of going, I'm done with, like your words, sacrificing?
Yeah.
When do they pull this, the deal and go, I'm out of here. This isn't going to be what I wanted it to be, which is ultimately what they wanted. When is it time for that male or female to go, they don't want the same thing I do?
Now, again, can this rule back to the idea that love is a selfish endeavor?
I think that's part of it, the selfishness, but sometimes people's selfishness could be their desire to please somebody else. When they're actually doing it for themselves to please them.
Yeah.
Like that's where they gain their, cheers, by the way, baby,
Cheers. Yeah.
their pleasure.
Yeah. I mean, I get the argument back toward the idea of it being manipulative and a way to forcefully create some sort of connection, right? I get it. I mean, look, there's no argument that love is not abused, right?
Well, let's hear your dreamer side.
My dream. Oh, you're so awesome. You bring out the silver lining in me. It's the truth. Well, you know what? My dreamer side, everyone just fucking heard talking on the microphone. That's you. The way
I'm like, I didn't hear you, motherfucker.
no, the way that you picture that, the way that you see and give the irrational a logical chance. Regardless of the cultural implications, the language barriers provided, and so-called objective, but yet or subjective research about word use, application, its manipulation, just because you can try love is a fucking irrational thing. And, for me, it would be something you'd understand by telling you I love you because you pull the irrationality out of me and you make the irrational rational.
You just got really, I love you because.
It
It was really cute. I love you because.
I was just saying,
Like,
man.
right, when someone
Because
does
the
that,
shit's fucking irrational. The fact that people put out books or some video that go, if you're looking for the right relationship, what you do is, right, the 1, 2, 3s, the 4, 5, 6s, right, the steps of what you find love to be. Well, I mark you, sir, and I would challenge you because you're talking about an irrational, subjective idea of whatever the perception is at the moment of the expectation of what love design interpersonally was supposed to be. And but then yet not to apply this phenomenon in my existence, in this human
do apply it, please. I want to hear the application.
Right, but not to apply it, right? Not to apply the social construct that was created thus of some manipulative experience, thus within limit my human experience at the end of it. So to tell me that I lived my life in some notion of a rational idea of love from manipulation, well then fuck you, because that was a concept created in my experience of this humanness, that which we call it. And if thus I'm to experience it without it, well, then Shakespeare me, because then I have not lived yet. And forget it then, but for me, I lived my
Slay
life.
me with your sword.
Oh, here it comes. I lived that life to an extent, but not relationship wise. I just kind of went out there. And so the first relationship to put down seemed the rational, safe thing to do. And then when I applied rationale to an idea of love, it fucking failed. I failed. It failed.
Oh.
But then, well, failure is the growth and the gain anyway. So
Yeah.
don't let failure be a negative connotation. So failure is mere just a stepping stone painted differently. So as you move through that experience of it, and to be given a different taste of what that means,
Yeah.
but open to the perception and a change of the definition of the expectation of what that experience is, was opened by you and was different. And I then pursued the thought that was created in me by observing you with a diligent focus of cognitive, behavioral, and possibly spiritual. But to chase something of an irrational, subjective notion irrationally seemed to be rational. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
On the dreamer side, I myself have always been a dreamer. I would say that since I was like in kindergarten, if not earlier. But I've never changed my view on realistically the meaning or definition of love. It doesn't even have to be love with someone like
Even
in
through
a relationship.
heartbreak, even through the letdown of the first definition of what you believed love to be, you didn't break from it.
No, because it wasn't it. I would be broken if I felt like I found it. I didn't feel like, even being married, it sounds sad, but there was still that feeling of, I know I'm not wrong. I know it exists. That person exists out there. You are my I told you so.
Oh, no pressure.
No, I mean, and you could be my I told you so for one more week.
You should really
but it would
lift
still
your
be
sights.
like,
Lift your sights up a little higher.
shut up.
I'm just saying.
No, you're I'm going to tell you this anyway. Just enough of each.
Okay. I'll
Every
take
little
it.
thing.
I'll take it.
Just enough. You know where you see relationships where they go, this is so great about them, but he doesn't have anything in common with me when it comes to like what I like to do for fun. To me, that's like the ultimate relationship where you find someone that you actually share interests. You don't have to spend all the time together, but where you actually share interests, because those other things like that bomb ass body or that beautiful hair or whatever, those things can go away.
Check.
Those things can go away quite soon and very unpredictably.
Well, I shit you not. Tonight when you were chatting out by the fire, when we were chilling, and
Yeah.
you were talking, and it's I don't know. Maybe for the first time, I don't know. I want to hear somebody's perception more and their experience of what it is, of what life is, or what it is to them. To kind of sit back like we're both staring through the same 3D glasses. Awesome. Oh shit.
Are you referencing like if you were to meet
Just
an
you.
older couple that talked about
No,
love?
just you. And tonight, sitting up there hanging, I was like, you were talking about a perception of something, and I was like,
Yeah.
I dig that perception. Want to see it from that angle. You are the first person that, at least in my selective memory of whatever that wants itself to be at the moment,
Yeah.
that I've ever felt that was like more you, please.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of like less you, bruh. Less Adam right now at this moment, please. Could you
Yeah.
just tone it the fuck down? If anything, you're more like, what the fuck is Adam? Like, tone this
Well,
shit, that was something different for me.
This is it's so much, life is so much more fun to be around people that you feel like they like you. And like even today with your outfit that you were wearing,
You're going to hate on it. You're bringing it up.
I am. I'm not hating on it though. I love
I
it.
won't. I'll shine that shit. I'm happy.
So he gets this outfit, right? And it's a gray velour zip up jump suit is what I like to call it. But it's a little gangster gear. It looks hot to me. And he had on this
It's right here. If you're watching, you can go to YouTube. You see the top.
but it
of
is all in who wears it though. No matter, I don't care what you say.
Look, if I could pick velour tracksuits for the rest of my fucking life, white tennis shoes, and a tank top underneath, and I'm happy.
I know baby, it's how you carry yourself and you're walking, everything. So not everybody can pull this off. So
Yeah, they
I would
could.
say put that on at
They
your
so
own risk.
could.
No, I'm sorry.
Put it on at your own risk.
Yeah.
I know. Think about it. Anybody. Let a 78-year-old.
Oh, okay.
throw
So what
that
about if
fucker
a
on.
female throws that on?
I'm down. I'm thinking like, oh, pajamas, comfy.
That is not true.
Yeah, it would be. I'd be like, they'd probably DJ great.
You don't think you'd ever find yourself looking at the female going, "Time to make the donuts."
No.
Like as far as like the regular, not the
wouldn't hate-
fooding.
I would be like, I totally get it. You want to feel like you're in your pajamas all day.
Well, let me swing back really quick to the whole point of your outfit. You were initially going to wear the V-neck T-shirt, and it wasn't tight, but it didn't fit the final touch of that look that you had.
It's because it's too hot. If you had a T-shirt
that's
and
not
a
why.
jacket.
That's a good try, though. So you threw on that tank, and it was the finishing touch, but it was maybe a little bit risque of maybe what your family or somebody might look at you and go, "What is this?"
That definitely happened.
But to me, because I do love who you are, and I love when you
Today.
can rock that or whatever. Yeah, today. That's a good idea.
Well, I'm a fan of being young. Like, I think, I play my music fucking loud still. I still dress what makes me comfortable, not what fits me in. I'll never tuck in a short sleeve anything. If you do, stop. Just stop. If you right now have a short sleeve thing on and it is tucked in at this current moment in time, I need you to untuck it swiftly with
Yeah.
no one looking. Now, if someone's watching, you can play it off. But pull the untuck, and if you have one of them tethered belts that kind of latch anywhere, go out back and burn that shit.
And if
That's all.
you, unless your hands are ill, or excuse me, not ill, what the fuck?
Hands are up.
Unless they're hurting, please don't ever let me hear Velcro rip from your shoes.
Yeah, man.
Sandals
But
where you go,
Velcro
"What
shoes are
the-"
so convenient.
Dude, so is short hair and eating unhealthy. It's convenient.
1 out of 3.
I was talking about female. It's not.
Yeah, I'll take short
Well, I mean,
hair.
sure, there's
Baby,
some
you have
plenty
a beautiful face. You could do this buzz cut.
No.
It's risky. Like Rose from UFC. You could. It's risky.
I
It's
do like
risky.
Rose. Thank
But
you. That's
you could
very
do it. You
sweet.
have to have a symmetrical and pretty face to be the female in shave. Now, it's sad. Now, a feminist is like, fuck
No,
you.
that's
We
not
can shave our
true.
heads.
I'm a huge fan of short, sexy, beautiful hair. It doesn't have to even be sexy, but like you said, even a buzz, it's all how a person carries himself. But what I was referencing that for was totally different as far as like where the reason for it. You're looking at me like you lost.
Give
me
me
there.
more. No, I'm like, all right, I'm in. Where are we going?
You were talking about feeling young and all that kind of stuff about
Yes.
relationships and what you rock and what you wear and all that kind of stuff.
Well, it killed me when my ex-wife would go, can you turn the music down? I'm like, no, I'm going to play that loudly. And we could sing, but no. So that's parts of feeling young, of whether you rock the velour tracksuit or you wear whatever makes you comfortable. And not just not the quitting thing either, to where you go, I don't care anymore. I'm just wearing this, but whatever it is that makes you feel a certain way, I think that's okay.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, it's not like you have this dirty looking face and you look like you're dragging your knuckles from them.
That is subjective.
No, it's not. I'm talking about when you're wearing that velour suit, the appearance that you can make it.
I think anybody could rock it. It would help. Anybody rock the velour. I challenge you right now. If you've ever looked at a velour tracksuit zip up long sleeve and you've thought, fuck, that'd be comfortable.
Well, the girls used to wear. I mean, I do admit I had a juicy suit.
See?
The
Yeah.
juicy velour, the little J, and the
Stripper day wear.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what that is.
I don't know.
It is. Definitely.
I agree. I was just counting the days so I could go.
But I challenge any, if you've walked by and you said, I'd like to rock that, do it. But just look, white shoes, go with it. I won't judge you. Just do it. White shoes, rock the velour, and then email me. Say what's up. Say like, you know what, I tried your velour
did it
suit
feel? Yeah.
and it fucking sucked.
But you got to wear everything that goes with it. Wear those chucks. Wear that wife beater.
Don't say it. No.
I can
Rule
say
of thumb.
that. No, right? So many people don't realize what that means, but it's
Yeah,
funny.
the
that
rule
you
of
say.
thumb.
Yeah, you'll
You
have to
can
tell
hit your
people,
wife with a stick
as long as it's the size of your thumb.
of your thumb.
Yeah.
Correct.
And now, are they talking the thickness?
Yes,
Or
girth.
is it a little?
It's girth.
Yeah.
So your girth of your thumb was the shaft you were allowed to hit your
Where
wife
are you
with.
going?
You know what I mean? Or think about my little thumb. That's a little whipstick. That shit fucking is fucked up. And so we still heard it. It was on like Fox News or some shit, right? So I was
Yeah.
like, roll a thumb on the thing. I'm like, you're talking about a feminist article now.
There was something on a website too where it said rule of thumb on each category. Remember, we were like, do they even know what that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, fuck to say anything online or anything. You don't even know anymore. If you
I
put
know.
something out, you're like, I did what? I totally offended an entire group of. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's just so to me. If I was anywhere actually really in the limelight, I'd be going, "Ew, did I accidentally flirt with somebody the wrong way? I hope I didn't offend somebody." You know, we really look back at your
Well, it
track
almost
record.
mutes you, right? I mean, we already talk about the generations further being unable to communicate, whatever. But even the idea of communicate can be subjective, right? It changes with the evolution. But the idea of actual communication disappearing, personal communication disappearing because of the electronic communication, I think that's a real thing. I don't want to
It
sound like the
is.
old dude. It's like, you can't say that, but it's kind of true.
That certainly helped your game.
No.
It did when you would call me, as opposed to texting. It was really, it was a nice change. It wasn't FaceTiming. It was literally like that phone call of he's calling.
Saying hello.
Yeah,
the
as
text
opposed to
message
just
misses.
I did love those too, but I'm saying as far as like the actual connection, which allowed ours.
Yeah,
doing
that's
those things.
the connection, right? Where, from your opinion, I'm generalizing, right? And
Yeah.
generalizing
My
a
favorite word.
relationship, when does that, kind of, all right, fuck, there's so
Okay,
much
spit
going
it
through my
out.
head. Well, I can't because I have to preface when we were in Cali and you were talking to the lawyer
dude.
guy
Okay.
out there when we were sitting by the fire and shit hanging, and dude was just tripping about his wife, his marriage, what to do.
He
And this
was.
is an affluent lawyer, for the enemy too, for Pfizer and the drug companies. But, as you're talking to him about, you could almost pinpoint when it fell off, when the mental changed, when a belief of something he did that played in his behavior changed, right? So
Yeah.
generally speaking, GU speaking, when does that relationship, if you talking about them generally again,
Sure.
begin to fall off, right? When does that the woman
When you let it.
right? Well, I get it. Sounds good,
No, it's.
but
And
when
remember that the one guy that you're talking about? He's sitting there talking to us about, what do I do? I can't do this. And the first question
the guy that
we were
night,
like,
yeah.
well, where the fuck is she?
yeah,
Why isn't she with you?
That's true. It's so obvious.
Yeah,
He's sitting there going, I can't connect with my wife, but yet I'm at a upscale hotel. I'm having a drink by this little fire, talking to two strangers, and my wife is alone in the hotel room with our newborn. And I'm wondering why I can't connect with her.
Yeah.
And we're both looking at each other going, what the fuck?
Yeah. It wasn't even a newborn. That'd be even a little bit different if she just needs some time alone, like to feed the baby, whatever. But it wasn't even that. It was a freaking toddler that you can go, Mom, I'm going to go away for the weekend with my wife. And he was obviously had enough money to go watch my baby for a weekend.
Yeah.
The things that he has absolute control over, he's over there sitting there talking to us instead of talking to him. It's like where you go, call her.
The best part was the end of that night as
Yeah,
you
right?
finished your sermon with him and we leave and we're going upstairs and he happened to be on floor, I think 2, we're on floor 3. We're in the same elevator. He's like, he's thanking you, like, hey, thank you. It's a fucking weird night, kind of, because you were convincing him, like,
He
go
was
upstairs, and you gave him instructions. Dude
Yeah,
had a
yeah.
1, 2, 3. He had an action plan.
Yeah.
Being a lawyer, he was
He was
ready to.
excited about it though, and he hadn't even experienced that excitement about her in general since they got married.
And he was ready. And so he's going up. He gets off on the 2nd floor, and he's walking. Then we get off on the 3rd floor, and I hear him go, fuck!
Yeah, he said it twice.
Yeah, he yells, fuck! And we're like, wow. He's laughing
It was
because
a big compliment because
Yeah.
it was like they're so right.
his mind was just like, fuck them. I have to go do this right now and say this. That's the moment where like your brain is creating new pathways of experience. That's the meaning of uncomfortable is where the change is. When you're like, go in, say this, do that. He's like, all right, I'm fucking in. He's on the 2nd. fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck. And he's walking in to go do it. You know what I mean?
I think he got that fuck moment more so when we
it
were
worked out.
talking, when we were just talking to him about like, realistically, what are your choices? Like he acted like, and they dated before for several years without a child.
Through college.
And there was no like discussion of him ravaging or having that desire or anything. And I was like, what? Where's she at? You know, it's like, boy, you better get it before somebody else does, because I know she's like thirsty for it. I don't care what female says anything. I don't care what they say. What female does not want that feeling of, especially if you have if you've had a child at some point of, I am not a slave to anybody. I am here for me, and they're going to fulfill me, and it feels good and nothing. You know what I mean? Who doesn't want to feel like out of themselves for a minute? And that's what we were saying to him. Well, you have all these wants and desires. Have you ever asked her hers?
Yeah.
Have you ever bought her that outfit you wish she'd wear? Have you ever bought her that lingerie that you think she'd look so hot in?
Yeah, because he was really just complaining that they never really hung out.
Didn't do anything fun together.
Yeah.
It was more like but remember, he did reminisce about just kind of chill, relaxing, fun time with her, like doing fun collegey things.
Yeah.
But we were like, well, what happened? And it seemed like what happened is he kept living and she was the daycare provider.
But so many times, right? That's what.
Remember, she had a career.
Yeah, that's right. Because she was ex-career doing
No,
her
she
thing.
still had her career.
Still, that's right. That's right. Because it was
Yeah.
good on both sides.
And that's when we were like, you better go get that.
Yeah, yeah. You better.
She's not dependent on your ass. So
Yeah.
you know, she sounded like that. Like she was almost begging for him to go, you're not just a mom.
Yeah, I think well, that's why people do get lost, though, is that I have made this commitment, therefore I sacrifice this, and that gives it its thing, its
The
life.
value.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to me, that's quite the opposite.
Yeah.
That's like a sad story.
It fucking sounds that way, doesn't it?
If you go, I gave up this sort of happiness so that you can. That's like you almost have to be yelling it when you say it.
Yeah.
I did this for you. Like where you go, what do you want me to say? I'm sorry, or do you want me to say I owe you? What do you want? I don't want anyone in a relationship like that. Like if you guys haven't seen the movie, He's Just Not Into You, definitely watch it, because there's so many people, male and female, that are in relationships where it's way too much freaking work. People in general.
Come on, that's the other thing. Well, Patricia, relationships are work.
It's one of those things where if it becomes work instead of a relationship, that's where you leave it.
Yeah, but this sounds good. But after 15 years, you have to, it's work. You have to communicate and you have to be open with each other and give each other space. I just summed up every fucking
right.
relationship book there is.
I think you just have to care. Give a crap. Everything is so simple if you really
So where's
think
the
about
line, though, when that person gives a care and the other person in their mind gives a care? But so again, have we circled back to the idea that love truly is a selfish endeavor?
I still don't believe that.
Right? But you're there. So when we're sitting there on that kind of,
There's parts of it that are selfish that feel good, but ultimately, if you love someone, I don't think selfishness has a room for it.
Well, I'm still going to go back to one of my favorite movies of all time, Into the Wild. That if you watch it, it's not that fucking sad, people. There's a message delivered. A man went out and experienced a life, and he left a message. And in that message he left, to me, is the prize of that movie, of the experience, right? Is that, it's not worth experiencing unless it is shared.
Yeah.
And I think sharing the human experience with someone, not sacrificing your human experience for someone, that to me, I think is fuck me and my cheesy fuck me, Adam, is the love that you kind of showed me was like, this is possible. You know what I mean? Outside of the rationale that we place it in, man.
I think too, if you trust someone, anything is. If you didn't trust me, you wouldn't have that same feeling.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, sure. It'd be questionable, right?
Yeah, you would question it if it's like just a myth or something. But I think when you trust someone, you can believe it. So like all those ideas of what I thought were love, and then you every day continuously kind of like do those
once
things.
the trust is violated,
I think it's,
That's it.
yeah, I believe so.
That's the deal breaker.
Well, because trust is so important to me, it's like a snowball effect of what happens. I don't any longer respect you if I don't trust you. So if I don't respect you, I can't be loyal to you. If
You
I'm
know
not
what?
loyal to you, I'm not in love with you.
Yeah,
It's like
I
all those
hear you,
things.
but again, that still connects to that sacrificial example of defining what love means.
It just changes the meaning of it, I think.
Mm.
Like if I could still, like if, say we, God forbid, say we broke up tomorrow.
Sure. I mean, not
I would-
sure. Don't forget.
Yeah, that was really quick. Jesus. Sure. Okay. What time?
No, not at all.
No. If that happened, it would be painful, yes, but I would still have no regrets for experiencing the amount of time that I did.
Given at the moment.
Yeah. So it's, to me, for so many people that go, fuck love, or there's too much work to it, or it doesn't exist.
I've chosen already.
Yeah. You've made that decision already of whether or not it can be dreamy that you want it
Death
to
to his
be.
part.
But the hard thing is, because of you, I don't know that that'd be a really hard find to find people that are are truly on the same page as far as what they want out of it. Because if somebody doesn't value it the same way you do, it can start to kind of wilt on one side, there's no, like a plant.
Yeah.
If it's not as valuable to you, you're not going to water it anymore. So those leaves are kind of wilted. So it's really hard to find someone that you believe, that you trust, that they have the same idea of what it means. There's no ending. I mean, there's no time frame of how long it can be or not be. But who cares if it's 2 months? Who cares if it's 1 month? You are 1 month in love and had that wonderful feeling, and you could die tomorrow. Who cares? Or you could go without it.
And not even try it.
Yeah. Or wonder. I'm not going to ever fucking wonder.
Yeah. But I mean, when those wants clash, so then judgment of the want. If the want of the male or female, is to be secured financially, anything else outside of what our definition of this passionate love would be, right? The expected given sacrifice. If that's not met, I mean, could we compare, like when I write in the book, there's no, this metaphor, that there's no bad kisser, right? That if you kiss someone who's bad, it's just you don't kiss like they do. So you don't love like they do.
If they don't love like me, they probably suck.
I would agree. I would agree. But do we get into muddy waters, right? When we start to say that this is the definition of what love is, this is what creates a good kisser.
I believe that when you decide to get on a tour bus looking for love, that's what you're going to get.
You'll create it.
Yeah.
If you're looking for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you have all these guidelines, go ahead and window shop then.
Sure.
And the worst is when people window shop and they don't have the right budget. That's where you go.
And you don't mean
you're
money.
trying to buy something at Nordstrom, and right now you're
And
tripping on Kmart.
you don't mean financial budget.
No, they're metaphors. Yeah, of course. I'm talking like someone there's so many people that are looking for the one, but they're not close to being the one.
You believe in the one?
I believe that until you believe that you are the one, you will not find it.
Ooh, shit. Drop it with that shit. We'll talk about it after this, whether that means anything.
I'm the one, motherfucker.
At least that's what she said.
Right? That's what she said. I think it was a pretty good summary of what.
This was fun.
But you didn't actually even. I feel a little bit robbed before you can feel this goodbye. But you try to do this little silver lining, and nope. No.
What are you talking
You didn't
about?
spit it out.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you were pointing out the silver lining and you diverted back to the cognitive lining. I said, show me the dreamer in you. And you didn't reveal anything that was dreamy as far as you goes.
Dreamer would be somebody that doesn't say till death do us part, but yet says till death do us journey until the next chapter. And if it's something that I want to make an agreement with to end it in this life, well, then maybe it's something I really don't want to experience, right? So for the most part, I tried love rationally, but it doesn't work that way. If you want to apply something subjectively and you need a whole database of words to apply to make this abstract notion more personally,
Yeah.
well, then fuck it. I approached it irrationally. And I appreciate you for showing me and doing that through making me appreciate me.
You are pretty wonderful.
Freestyle on some shit. What's up?
It is nice to even see you recognize it. Like I can see certain things when I can't
Hold on.
express
Wait,
to.
did you hear like 4 people just puked?
I heard a lot of coughs. Yeah.
I fucking hate that guy.
Still out.
Fuck that guy.
You're probably
He
right.
thinks he's black. I'm telling you.
Oh, when you look at people's history, when you're talking about that,
Yeah.
to me, I love to see people try different things and where they're from and all that thing.
Experience.
Yeah, that's where you get to see personality. Those are the ones you remember. I just yelled.
So SAT, true or false, love equals sacrifice.
Definitely no.
It was totally a true or false question.
False.
Okay.
Damn it.
That was like yes and no, wasn't it? So false.
Yeah.
False. Love is not about sacrifice. Question 2 on the
I'm
SAT.
going to go with my questions when you're done. So
Sure. Love is about work. That's it.
So it's a statement, not a question.
Question. Love is about work and takes work.
Maintenance.
Okay. It's true or false?
Oh. True.
True. Okay. So those that say, hey, love is work, you're way in on.
Definitely not.
Please, in your space below, explain your answer.
Yeah. I was trying to be funny saying I wouldn't respond to anybody that said love is work. I was talking about the definition of what work is. Some people like their job, some people hate work. So I think love is just maintenance.
I dig
if
that.
you don't take care
I fucking
of it.
dig that. Some people love the work, some people don't. So if you say, yeah, love's work, you're like, yeah, but I love my work.
Right.
If you're like, love's work, I fucking hate my job.
I'm fucking quitting. I don't want to be that job.
That's true.
I think it's how you decide to make it become what your perception of work is, or what everything is requires care, like maintenance.
For me, if the person I'm with isn't at the same movie, if what we're experiencing and sharing, we bought different tickets to, well, then for me, that's not love, boo. Yeah. So if we're both watching the same shit and we both dig a flick and we can sit back and play around and be like, shit, I think I love this chick. If we can see that and you allow me your perception of your world and let me watch it with you and sometimes be on stage with you and share that with you, well, then I'm in the audition.
Okay.
Shit. That's 2 rounds and 2 jokes.
Oh, it's funny. Sometimes when you're alone and you're saying jokes, you look around like, "Can I get some?"
Yeah,
No.
I do that. I'm like, what's up, Grace?
Yeah.
What's up? Grace is like, I don't understand the fucking word
Yeah.
you said.
And then she'll look at you like, "Yeah, that did not go where you wanted it to."
Yeah, I'm not a good comedian.
All right. So my true or false question for you.
Oh, shit. Bring it in. Bring the bell in.
I'm going to do 2 questions, which I'm totally just making up. I don't even know their question just yet, but I'm going
My friends that are listening now are holding their breath. They're going, don't fuck up, Adam. Just drop your cup. Drop your cup. You have to pee. Leave now. Leave now, and you have to pee. My friends are like, get the fuck out.
Okay. So when it comes to, here's the first one. Do you believe in love at first sight? Hey, wait, time out. I'm going to let you think about that. I'll be right back with one to grow on. I have to use the restroom.
Reading Rainbow. What's the cut in Reading Rainbow?
I can walk up the sky.
Yeah. Reading Rainbow. Love at first sight. Love at first sight is, first, we have to study it from the biological perspective. What the eyes are witnessing that it turns into, given the past experiences. Our past experiences have witnessed shapes that move in certain patterns that create emotions that come from the thoughts that we have and those past experiences. And so if love at first sight is there, well, love at first sight is an irrational notion. Well, possibly I'm game for it because love itself is an irrational notion. And if I'm going to bet on love, well, then to bet on love at first sight is something that just adds to the story. And true, the reality is in the story that we tell. And if the story that we tell is based on the truth that we believe, then, well, if we believe at that moment and through our filters of biology and cognitive application and our behavior, then our interpretation of love at first sight can be an experience that we choose to be in. And that's okay, because to each his own, the experience of this reality. And I'm a fan.
You're a fan. Okay.
And we're going to end it there because you didn't hear my response, and you're going to have to watch this to hear my response.
Okay. We can do that.
We tried a new format tonight. I dug just like chatting with you. We planned topics and blah, blah, blah. But just coming in with a question and discussing what that is with you has been... I've shared 187 podcasts today, and 187 is a murder on a police call. And I'm gonna find a silver line and say, baby girl, you called it. I felt like whether anybody ever watches this or downloads it or something, for me, we murdered it. You know what I mean?
Hey, I had fun. Hey, really quick on the murder note. This will make it cute.
Don't tell anyone. Shh.
Wait, what the word murder means?
Murder is a group of crows.
Yeah, those are
Yes.
smart birds.
They are.
A little
Well,
raspy.
I was surprised to see the parakeet. I really was. When I knew ravens and crows were very intelligent, and the parrot was up there, but the parrot comes across and is graded, if you will, on some bias poll, that the parrot is smarter. And then the parrot, and I saw there were two different species of the parakeet, or versions
Yeah.
of the parakeet.
Right.
So the parakeet, the crow, and the raven were the top-ranked birds, with the blue jay in a close fourth.
Do you think that you're misled by the appearance of the parakeet, and that's why you say that?
Probably totally curb on my own fucking bias.
Yes, fuck it.
Of the fucking,
It's fucking small and frail.
it's a fucking bird that everybody gets when you get a fucking bird.
Yeah.
And it's just green and yellow, and it's like, beep.
Pretty bird.
Yeah, pretty bird, pretty bird, pretty bird. That's cool. Maybe it knows his shit. That's all right. They're all still dinosaurs, if you ask me. But whatever. The dinosaurs didn't disappear. They turned into birds. Jurassic Park theory, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, no, run with that shit.
Well, I'm anxious to hear what you had to say on this lovely
Private
rum.
stock.
rum.
The private stock rum is look, if you're gonna drink a affordable rum, we are brought to you by sponsored.
I thought you were doing the red rum because it's murder backwards.
No, red rum. No, look, private stock, look, it's good, but not an ice drink rum. But I take the private stock on a mix before I take the regular Captain on any mix. You can drink it at rocks. No, you can put it on the rocks. Not 3. You're gonna need 5 or 6. Not 3 rocks on the Captain.
Oh, baby, you're cute.
Jameson Gold Label, 3 rocks. Sip it slow. Enjoy yourself.
It was actually quite good. I enjoyed this pretty well compared to even the Jameson.
Yeah, private stock goes smooth, but wait till the Gold Label on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, that will be fun to celebrate.
It'll be fun. Oh, thanks for hanging. Ready? Let's do something cheesy. This was He Said and
She said, "Oh, whoops, fuck, damn it,
Take
delete."
2. Ready? And this is He Said and
She said.
signing off.
That sounds like one of those commercials where you go, ding.
Ding. You smile, it like sparkles from the tooth.
Yeah.